Hi, I'm David Keith with the Oxnard Police Department. On August 20th, we began a summer mobilization comprising of several sobriety checkpoints and DUI enforcement saturations throughout the city of Oxnard, as well as conducting the Avoid the 14 program. The Avoid program consists of 14 police agencies throughout the county of Ventura. Some of these agencies include the California Highway Patrol, Ventura County Sheriff's Department, Ventura Police Department, Simi Valley Police Department, the Santa Paula Police Department, and the California State University Channel Islands. We team up together and hit the streets looking for impaired drivers, not only in the city, but also on the 101 freeway from Ventura to the LA County line. These enforcement campaigns are made possible by funding from the California Office of Traffic Safety through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. To date, the Oxnard Police Department has arrested 26 drivers for DUI and 5 individuals for outstanding DUI warrants. The CHP has arrested an additional 16 drivers. This past weekend was especially busy. A driver was spotted by an Oxnard officer violating a traffic law. The officer activated his lights in an attempt to stop the vehicle. The driver did not stop and continued on. After a few failed attempts to stop the driver, it became obvious the driver was not going to comply. Several police units with lights and sirens following behind the vehicle had no effect whatsoever. Although the pursuit never reached high speeds, it lasted over 30 minutes. The vehicle drove randomly from the beach area of Mandalay Bay to the city of Port Hueneme and back into the middle of the city of Oxnard. At one point, the pursuit was called off for safety reasons. A short while later, a motor officer saw the vehicle again and began to follow it without lights or sirens. Just prior to the conclusion, the driver began driving through a residential area. Spike strips were deployed at the corner of G and Hill Street. The driver stopped just short of the spike strips and was ordered out of the vehicle. He gave up without incident and was arrested. During the investigation, it was determined he was under the influence of narcotics and he went to jail. The Oxnard Police Department also conducted a mobile checkpoint this same night. This checkpoint was set up in 2 different locations of the city. This operation was responsible for screening 1,081 drivers, conducted 4 DUI investigations, and made 2 DUI arrests. 1 individual was arrested on an outstanding warrant, while 21 drivers were issued citations for being unlicensed. There were also 4 more persons that were issued citations for driving on a suspended license. And finally, 10 vehicles were towed. At approximately 1 a.m., a female driver was involved in a single-car crash at Kohala Street and Latigo Avenue. She hit a parked car, damaging that vehicle's left rear axle. The force of the impact was so great, it completely ripped her car's right front tire and rim off the axle. There was extensive damage to her vehicle, and it's a miracle she wasn't injured in the crash. During the investigation of this incident, and after blowing into a breathalyzer, it was determined that she was under the influence of alcohol. The device displayed her blood alcohol content to be at 0.22, almost 3 times the legal limit. She was arrested and went to jail. Also, as part of the saturation detail, our officers patrolled the city of Ventura as well. Many stops were conducted looking for impaired drivers. In this clip, a driver was arrested and cited for being under the influence of alcohol. He blew a 0.12 blood alcohol content. Because he had no prior DUI convictions and met established criteria, he was released to a licensed, responsible, sober adult. Doing this allows officers to spend more time on the streets rather than in the jail booking an offender, which can take many hours. The following weekend, we assisted the Sheriff's Department in another checkpoint in the city of Camarillo, setting up in 2 different locations. That checkpoint screened 771 drivers, conducted 4 DUI investigations. However, no one was arrested for being under the influence. A total of 21 citations were issued for various violations, 5 of which were for drivers being unlicensed, but no vehicles were towed. The Oxnard Police Department will continue conducting these DUI enforcement details, looking for impaired drivers in an attempt to keep the roadways safe. Remember, DUI arrests and convictions can cost you thousands of dollars. Estimates can range up to $10,000 for a first offense. The penalties and punishment for this offense can be very serious, not just in terms of dollars, but also the consequences as well. If you drive to work but can't, you may lose your job. Other circumstances that will affect your DUI arrest are having a child in the car, especially if he or she is under 14, speeding, driving on a suspended or restricted license, being involved in a crash, or having a high BAC over .20. These factors will aggravate your penalty and punishment significantly. You will lose your driver's license anywhere from 6 months to 3 years. Depending on your specific situation, you can receive 3 to 5 years of court probation. Repeat offenders can receive formal probation. If you hire an attorney, this can also get expensive. For repeat offenders, if your attorney is fortunate enough to get you a restricted license, you will also be required to install an ignition interlock device in your vehicle. You will have to attend DUI school, in some cases for up to 18 months. And finally, you will do mandatory jail time. So help save a life by helping us catch impaired drivers. If you see someone driving erratically or you feel that may be under the influence, dial 911 immediately. Remember, drinking and driving is dangerous. You are risking not only your life, but the lives of other people. So don't do it. It's just not worth it. I'm David Keith, and this has been Straight to You.